Hey, thanks for coming along on this journey with me. I've shared a couple of emails and people have continued to sign up, but I've been talking about a blog series that I did, talking about the 3 Ps: people, perspective, and purpose. The last update that I sent out talked about people and relationships. This will be a quick update talking about perspective. When you think about perspective, one of the things that I shared was the value of a story. And for so long, people had asked me, well, what's your story? And I never felt like I really had a good answer for that. And so in the blog post, if you click on the link below, you'll see I talk about my story is evolving, but because of what we went through, I do feel like I have more clarity about it. But it's also forced me to think about my story more. And as I did that, there were kind of 3 negative thoughts that I continued to have around this. Number one is this felt like a waste of time. You know, setting up an email blast and shooting a quick video. I was like, does this really relate to anything that I should be doing right now, and should I be dedicating time to this? So I'm being pretty transparent, but number one, it felt like a waste of time. The second point that I thought about is, what's the focus of this? And is this really going to be something that adds value to other people's life? And is there a focus element to what we're putting out here? So that was the second point that I had. The third thing that I've struggled with a lot is feels a little bit arrogant. When you stand up in front of a camera or you have a website that is, kevinheikes.com, it feels a little bit arrogant in nature. It's like, well, how are people going to perceive this? So I've had these 3 kind of negative connotations run through my mind. And as I've gone through this and continued to share this, and I knew that this was going to be a beta test, but there was just something calling me to say, keep pushing through it. What has actually happened is I've had several friends and colleagues that have called that are dealing with health challenges, whether they were actually walking into the hospital, or dealing with someone saying, hey, I know that you've been sharing some thoughts around this. I'm going through this situation, and basically asking how I approached my health challenges. The last thing in terms of perspective, and I think about this project and bringing back to the blog post, I talk a lot about how important it is to sit back and create margin and have time to think. And what this project has forced me to do is to go back to what I had written. And so let me leave you with this kind of thought. I was having a conversation around the kitchen table one time, and someone shared with me, we're more destination people. We're not really in this for the journey. And I thought about that, and I said, man, that's sad, to think that you don't really want to enjoy the journey, that we're destination. And it was pretty judgmental from my perspective, but then as I thought about it, I said, you know what, that's exactly how I am. And when you think about plans and objectives, I live so much of my life focused on the destination, that the journey and how we get there and all those things that happen throughout the day, the month, the process of getting to that destination, I don't always think about. So as we think about perspective, and as we think about journeys versus destination, I would just encourage you to know that, or to think about, there are destinations that we're aiming for, but how many times during the day are there those spots that, during the journey you don't want to miss those? It's gone really well. I started off with like 25 or 30 email addresses and just friends that I shared this with, and many people have signed up. So I think we're up to like 200 people on the website that went to kevinheikes.com and said, hey, I'm interested in learning more about this. So obviously we're striking a chord with this, and more importantly, it's the conversations that I continue to have with those of you that are interacting with me and allowing me to kind of do this kind of side project and just put this information out there. So thank you for that. At the bottom of the email, there's a feedback section, and that's what I'm really interested in. If there are things that work, things that don't work. The first note that I sent out had a lot of feedback on the video, and you guys helped me with some of those ideas, and realized that if I'm going to do this, I should at least take a couple minutes and set the camera up correctly and do a good job with that. But I'm interested in the content. I'm interested in kinds of things that we could share, and just know that again, the reason that I'm doing this is that when I went through a tough spot, there was someone there that reached out to me and that I could have a conversation with. And so as we think about making every step count in life, if there's something that I can do to support you or to be part of that process, you guys are all friends on this list. This is a pretty small group. Let me know. And then also, if there's others that you think would benefit, this is just a test, and I've got one more video that I'm planning to do that talks about purpose at the end. So that'll go out in a few weeks. So feel free to put someone else on the email distribution list. So thank you for your feedback. Thanks for going along on this journey.